I'll get mine out of the way just because I'm not going to probably be able to talk in a minute, but I really had no victories. In fact, I feel like I'm really struggling. So I'm just trying to get like my head back in the game, but I feel like I'm paralyzed. And I've gone through these phases before. I mean, Ashley, you know it, but I physically feel like I have no time and it's paralyzing me. Like I have posted less on my stories and on my Facebook and Instagram than I have in months. Like I just am like frozen. I don't know. So I have no victories.
What are you doing for personal development right now?
I restarted You Are a Badass. I finished that Mel Robbins one, but yeah, so I was like, well, I'll just restart this because I already had the book, but I'm open for any recommendations. And I need to get back into listening to the National Wake Up Calls, and I feel like all the like Dream Team and the Forever Fit, the way they just kind of put in their videos throughout the day, it's really hard for me to catch those, obviously. So I don't always get back in there and watch the recordings.
I'm still like behind from Megan Blinko's Wake Up Call. I still haven't to that one yet, and that's on my list of like I need to go back and watch like these 6 national wake up calls, and then something new pops up, and it's like when am I going to go back and catch up on the stuff that I'm behind on? You know.
It is.
Did you listen to this week's?
No,
I started it, but I haven't finished it.
It was really good, and the end was amazing.
Yes, let's wait. That was Moira Kusaba or whatever. Yeah. So actually, I did listen to hers. I completely forgot it was hers. She did a call for Melanie's Diamond and Above group a couple of weeks ago, and I took like an entire notebook full of notes because she is like, I mean, you can just feel the passion in her voice when she talks about teaching.
Yeah, and that's what I got out of it. And like we were driving the car. I mean, if you saw my Facebook post, you kind of like got the hint of it. But we were driving the car. I had to take one to swimming and one to hockey, so we were in the car for like an hour. And so I listened to it, and even Bria at the end was like asking questions, like as she was talking about her kids and her family and how they made this dream, and each of her kids got to choose. You know, like, if you understand that this means I'm going to work hard and there's going to be things that I miss, because she wanted to be top 10. What if I reach this goal? I'll take you each on a vacation. And her daughter was like, I choose American Girl. And she was like, so that was easy. And her son chose going to the Golden State Warriors game to see Steph Curry. And she said, she goes, everything that I worked for and everything that it meant to be top 10, walking in to that arena and having him see Steph Curry for the first time and crying, like, and he must be like, I'm assuming like Brady's age. She goes, that's what it meant to me. And I was like, that was like my aha moment. Like, that's what I'm doing. Like, yes, it's nice to have the extra money, and, you know, obviously I do it to help people. But that extra money is that my kids can have those moments. And that was like, I really enjoyed her whole talk, but that end, and Bria was like, can I go somewhere? And I was like, sure. And then last night we had a big discussion on like, what is my goal? Like, I don't really have a goal. I mean, like, I guess my goal right now is to hit diamond, but like, what does that end goal look like? And my kids were asking, and I was like, I have it and it's written down, but I don't know. It's that envisioning, like, what it will look like. And I know Melanie always says that. Like, what does it look like when you're successful, or, you know, whatever.
Right. What's your definition of success? Yeah.
Right.
And it's different for everybody. And I think mine still continues to change as my goals continue to evolve. And, you know, 2 years ago, I was like, oh, I want to be 5-star and elite and blah, blah, blah. And like, to me, like, that's great. Like, the recognition is great. I love the recognition and the parties and the, you know, all the free stuff that you get. Like, that's super great. But like, to be able to pay for our entire vacation in a weekly paycheck was like something I never dreamed of. And I did it last week. And like, it was one of those things that like, as a kid that struggled growing up, like our family struggled with income and we never got to do anything extra. Like we never got to go on any trips, you know, like we went to the lake. That was like our, you know, vacations maybe once a summer, you know, like I had never been to Disney until I was 26. Like little things like that like I want to be able to do for my kids. And this gives me an avenue to do that. And you know, my mom stayed home with me my whole life. And that's really important to me because you know, my mom stayed home with me and like, that's why I want to be home with my kids right now. So like, I knew early on that I had to push for income that would make sense to me why I'm staying home, you know, that like, I couldn't just make $150 a month and pay for my shakes. And then like, you know, not that my husband would ever doubt what I'm doing, but like, you know, like, why are you really home with your nursing degree if you're not even making any money kind of thing. So I knew early on if I wanted to do that. So like, as those goals continue to change and they do every like month, 6 months, and it's good to set like yearly goals, you know, it's good to say like at 3 months, you know, or set that big goal and then reverse engineer them and break them down throughout the year. So like, I know that like, for my income to continue to grow, I have to hit Success Club 10 every month, non-negotiable. Like that's something that I've determined will continue to build my income because that will give me X amount of money. I know that I need X amount of coaches every quarter that, you know, can build to Emerald and things like that. And I know that I need to continue to increase my volume. So that means I need to be signing more people as coaches to continue to build my team volume. So to kind of set that dreamy, lofty, vision-y type goal, like, you know, whatever that is. And, you know, Sarah, maybe it's like, I want to pay for a trip to Disney for my entire family, or, you know, whatever your kids decide, or, you know, whatever you guys decide, and then saying, okay, what's it going to take for me to get there? And then we kind of break down those steps and we can do that. And all of you guys, you know, not just you guys on the call, but like those that are listening in, like, that's something that, you know, we can do a group call, or we can do like set aside private time to break that down and say, what does success really look like to you? And how do you want to get there? And what's it going to take? And I know personally for me to push for bigger goals this year, it's going to take a lot of sacrifice. I'm dreading this summer because all my kids are going to be home and I'm like, how am I going to balance this? You know? And Sarah, I'm sure you're probably having similar thoughts. Like, how am I going to continue to watch my business grow if I can't even keep my kids from fighting for 10 minutes, you know, and jumping off the couch? And so anyway, back to what you were talking about, Michaela, like, you know, you may be at a place right now where you're not really sure what you want to do with this business, where you want this business to go. And that's okay. I know I've gone through several phases like that. And for me, I got kind of stuck in a spot that like, I had the same people over and over that like, you know, were just kind of like ho-humming along, that like my challengers weren't really doing anything. Nobody was checking in, like, and that was really dragging me down. Like the energy bus, like it was like sucking my energy out. And I was like, what am I even doing this for? Like people don't even care, like nobody's getting results. And I had to shift my mindset and like find a completely new group of people, and had to kind of cut the apron strings with some others that were kind of dragging me down. And I had a couple coaches that were doing the same thing, that were like literally sucking my energy out. And I was trying to put more into them that, you know, they weren't giving back. And you absolutely have to like look at your time and your worth, like what your effort, like are they matching your efforts or not? Like, and I think about that with my challengers, like, are you matching my efforts? Because if you tell me that you want to lose 50 pounds and then you never check into the group, like how am I supposed to help you if you can't even meet me halfway? And I have to do that with coaches too. You know, show me that you're inviting people, show me that you're having conversations, and I'll help you with those conversations. But, you know, like,
I feel like my coaches are like outworking me. Like I'm watching, and I do think that part of me right now is one, like, I think I'm already like defeating myself. Like, there's no way I'm going to be able to work full time, take care of my family, go back to school with these 3 classes, and keep up with the Beachbody thing. So it's almost like I've kind of frozen there. And then I know that I need to like put my blinders on, because I feel like I'm watching you 3 girls, like you and Kelly and Sarah, like blowing up, and I'm watching your guys' stories and how great you guys are doing with like, and I feel like I physically, like, I literally thought to myself yesterday, like watching some stories, like, I'm so behind the 8 ball. I'm not doing any of these things. How am I ever going to catch up? And like, I just stop, you know?
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
And I'm like, why am I comparing myself to you guys?
Right?
Like, I've been fine.
Right.
And I feel like all of us, and even Kelly, like, we're very different in the way we post and what we say and what we do. So like, I look at your guys's, but I look for coaches that I'm similar with, like, or like I really like feel like my posting style is the same. And that's like, I have like 4 of them. And because I look at them, they're like the top 4 in my, like, whatever, feed or whatever. And those are the only people I look at, and you guys. But like, I make sure every day, like, I'm looking at them for like inspiration, almost, of like, okay, this is like, I relate to these people. Like, we seem to have like the same personality and whatever. Like, the 4 of us, like, even our posts are very, very different with what we post.
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, I think we have similarities, but I definitely think we're all different. And I know that, like, it's just so dumb. Like, I just get in my own head so easily. And this isn't the first time I've been here. You can ask Ashley. I mean, I think just because I'm so part-time, but I want to be like more, and I just haven't found it. Like, I had to work 12 hours yesterday. Like, I didn't get up and do my workout, so I had nothing posted on my stories all day. And I'm just like, and then it gives me anxiety, because I know all day long I need to do something, but I'm like literally busy at the bar all day. Like, I can't sit there and be on my phone and make posts and stuff. And then I feel like, oh my gosh, I haven't done anything. And that just gives me anxiety. And then it makes it even worse. It's just hard to balance it. So
I've only, sorry.
Oh, the one thing I had to say that I had written down for today, because I was going to use it kind of as a theme throughout the day, challenge groups and stuff anyway, is you can't use someone else's measuring stick to measure your success. And I was thinking about that within the 2B Mindset group, and, you know, some people that I've talked to privately that are like, you know, I've only lost 2 pounds and blah, blah, blah. And like, you know, I thought I'd be a lot further along by now. And I'm like, yeah, but who are you basing your results off of? Because if you look at somebody who's lost 10 pounds already and you're like, oh man, I totally, like, I wonder what she's doing. I need to do more of what she's doing. But you can't compare yourself to somebody else's success. Like, and I have to tell myself that. And I really struggled with that about a year ago, because, you know, Megan and Sarah Griffith and I all started around the same time. And so did Reagan. And I'm like, how are they 5, 6, 7 star? And I'm just over here, like, I can't ever recruit coaches, and, you know, I'm barely making any money, and I can't justify what I'm, you know, and I really struggled with that. And I'm admittedly, like, I still have moments where I'm like, gosh, like, what are they doing? Like, what are, you know, I need some help over here. I need their secrets. But at the same time, like, I can't put in the level of overwork that they, and God forbid, like, you know, they ever hear me say that, but like, they really work a lot for this business. And I'm not willing to put in 40 hours a week, to tell you the truth. Like, I'm good with 20, and like, that's about as max as I want to go. So I know that if I want to see bigger success, I'm going to have to up that. But like, for what I make right now and for what I want for my family, like, I just don't know that I'm ready to push myself to a next, you know, level. And I think, going back to that, you know, you can't measure your success by someone else's measuring stick. You're right. Like, I mean, it's easy to look at other people and, you know, and I look into other people's stories and I'm like, God, that is so good. Like, I need to do something more like that. But I look at other coaches too, who who have been in this business for X amount of time and who don't do anything like that, you know, or like people that will come to me and say that similar things like, gosh, I've been a coach for 3 years and I don't even know what I'm doing, you know? And like, I think we do have a little bit of an advantage with the team that we're on and the trainings that we have and things like that. But I think, you know, there's such a diverse group of women that we can, you know, relate to and see that like success does look completely different for so many of us. And I will say an accountability partner is amazing to have, especially somebody that has similar goals to you. And maybe that's something that, you know, we can try to do is find somebody that you can talk to regularly that has similar goals, that works full time and, you know, is balancing a business and full-time job. And that really makes a difference. Cause like for me, when I worked with Beth Bird, I mean, she worked full time, but we held each other accountable pretty good to our goals. And it was nice because it was somebody outside of like our personal team, you know, but like somebody that had goals that like we could kind of push each other together. So that is something that, Sarah.
And I think somebody going to school, like I think that's going to be huge for you too. Like someone who's going back to school and taking classes, because that's a piece of your life that is going to consume you, but someone who understands that or has just gone through it.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. If you guys have anybody in mind, like, you know, any coaches and Forever Fit or whatever, because like my husband's like, and I mean, he's always supportive, yes, but he's like, what are you going to do with Beachbody when you go back to school? Like, how are you going to juggle it all? And he's like getting in my head. And I'm just like,
yeah.
Okay.
I mean, your calendar, your schedule, you know, your planner or whatever is going to be your best friend. And again, like, you know, you don't need to be posting 3 to 5 times a day on social media. Like that is not, and like, I posted twice yesterday and I had a lot of stuff this week that I wanted to say and do. I wanted to do a coach sneak peek this week. Didn't happen. Like I had, you know, big goals to do a couple other things this week with my posts. I needed to do another recruiting post for 2B Mindset. And I was going to start a new challenge group kicking off next week. For fitness, since I'm only doing nutrition right now. And all of these things are like compiling in my head and I'm like, oh my God, I've got to get all these things done. But I feel like I'm so overworked with this 2B Mindset group that like, I physically can't fathom trying to start another group or start, you know, and I think we do get in our own heads and we do tend to overwhelm ourselves. And we look at the other people that are doing, you know, like, look, oh gosh, Megan's doing this 2B Mindset group and she's had all this success and now she's running a challenge group and now, you know, like, and it's like, what am I capable of doing? First off, like back to basics, how much time can I commit to this every day? And what do I really want? What's going to help grow my business? We have to look at income drivers and we have to look at volume things, you know, and I know that's like, it sounds redundant and it sounds basic, but like for me, the only thing that I know is going to consistently grow my business is recruiting more people. And I don't mean like active coaches, because we know like, you know, for every 50 people you talk to, one's going to sign up as an active coach. But like I need to find people to get them in my groups that are excited and ready and are going to continue to excite me for what I do. So I think as long as you put that kind of at the front of, does that make sense? Like, you know, you're kind of focusing on.
Yeah. I kind of like, honestly, what I just got out of that is like, instead of focusing on everything that I don't have time for, start focusing on what I can do.
Right.
So I'll make a list and do that. I mean, I feel like right now I just need to focus on my current challengers and my 2B Mindset group. And then I just need to like have conversations. Like I have no conversations because I mean, like I said, I completely frozen. Like I like completely hit like pause on my business and I have done nothing because I'm like, I can't do it. So why am I even trying?
Yeah. And I know, Sarah, you had something to say. Go ahead.
Do you co-run any of your groups with any like of your coaches?
Yeah. Cindy and I are actually doing our 2B Mindset group together.
Because that has made like a tremendous.
Have like any. with co-ran groups.
Yeah. Like Tracy and I and Tiffany are doing 2B Mindset together. And then Tracy and I and Tiffany are doing the regular challenge group together. So that has made a huge difference too. Like Tiffany has started just kind of commenting and being the cheerleader more. And I do like the daily posts and Tracy does the check-in, you know, so it's kind of like we kind of like now have this whatever, and we kind of put it out like you're getting 3 coaches in one. So not like if you're signing up with me, that we finally kind of have like
here, let me help you put it on.
Something going like that makes sense, and that has made a difference, and it's kind of taken like a little bit of stress off of me of going, okay, I have this group and this group, but I need to make sure that Tiffany's taking care of her people and Tiffany's taking care of her people. So that has made a difference too, of just co-running groups.
Yeah, I agree.
I think that's great advice. And I really liked the app, but my challengers didn't, and they didn't check in. And even like I just watched Melissa push all of her people into the app, and they stopped checking in. So she just started a new Facebook group. And I mean, I know it's the culture that we create, and I've created a Facebook culture that will not stop it, that will not give into the app, even though it's so much easier on the app.
Yeah, it is. I know it is. And it confuses me because I'm like, you tell me you want to track your stuff and then you don't even go in and track it, you know, like, but it's a separate thing to go into. And if people aren't accustomed to trying to do that, or maybe they haven't set up their notifications right, so they don't even know that we're posting, you know, I don't even know, but
right.
I agree.
As far as co-hosting, like I said, Cindy and I just need to sit down and plan better, because I was like doing the post out of the back, and then Cindy was like messaging me in the morning and asking me like, she was like, well, I thought we were going to do this. And I was like, well, I was kind of going off of the back. And then she like completely reposted the exact same post out of the back the day that she was supposed to post. So like Monday and Wednesday, we had a duplicate posts. And she was like, well, I just felt like we needed to recap. And I was like, I think that yes, but then recap in our own words. Don't just recap with the exact same post. So it was just like, so we've just decided that I'm going to post off the guide in the morning, and then she'll do the check-in posts at night and add her own thing. Yeah. So we haven't really gotten to our vibe yet, but we will.
And it definitely takes a while. Like, it's been a good, like, 2 months, and I finally, like, we all sat down, and I was like, okay, we need to figure out who's going to do what, because we keep, like, Tracy and I thought she was doing one thing, and she thought I was doing another, and Tiffany's just kind of learning, so she's at that point, like, she kind of everyone's cheerleader and just making sure she's posting more and commenting, but we've made sure, like, our people know that they're getting, like, 3 coaches. So, like, if I don't comment on one of my persons, as long as they see a coach, you know, but I try and go through and comment on everybody at night if I can.
I appreciate the advice though, ladies. We don't have to keep dwelling. I mean, we can move on to other people's victories. I always feel better after talking to you guys. So I'm glad I got on, but stupid.
No, it's a lot, and it's hard. You know, you're at a place in your life where you have so many crossroads right now. Like, you have so many things just pulling at you in different directions, and it's a lot, and it's overwhelming. And you know, obviously, you know this. You know, making yourself a priority first, and then, you know, and if you want to sit down and do a call on, you know, creating a calendar and a schedule, and, like, you know, saying, hey, like, this is really a time waster, like, don't do this, or this is productive activity, do more of this. And, you know, like, some nights I'll designate a couple nights during the week where I'll stay up until 11 p.m. working on my Insta story, like, collage kind of thing, just to have it posted that night. So then I know it's going all day the next day, and then I don't touch my Insta stories or whatever. Like yesterday I had a random idea yesterday morning to do, hey, I'll do a day in the life thing today. And I did a day in the life yesterday, and I had like 7 people respond that wanted more information about coaching. And I was like, who even knew, you know? And
I have a question. How do you guys stay up late? Like, do you drink Energize at like 8 or 9 o'clock at night? Or, I mean,
I don't say it. I put my phone. I try. Now it's the end of the school year and I run around like crazy people. But I try and put my phone down at 9 o'clock. My husband just laughed at me. But up until like the last 2 weeks, I've tried to put my phone down at 9 o'clock. Now there's been other issues the last 2 weeks, so that hasn't happened. No, my last Energize normally is at 2:30 at the end of the school day. Like I do 1 in the morning and then 1 at 2:30 to get me through. Crazy.
See, and I could never drink my Energize if I didn't work out because it gave me anxiety. Like I felt like I felt like I needed to work it out of me, or else I was like short of breath and like freaking out. So I try not to drink it except for in the morning. But I really honestly 8 o'clock comes around. As soon as I sit down with my kids to put them to bed, I'm like out. I'm lucky if I stay awake. I usually fall asleep in the chair.
You get up at 4:30 though, don't you?
Yeah.
See, if I got up at 4:30, I wouldn't last until 11. I get up at 6 to 6:30 every day. And
you know what I really feel like? I feel like I need to stop doing 80 day. Because it's like an hour workout. So it's like, it takes me 20 minutes just to even get started on my workout. And sometimes even 30 if I read and I poop a couple times and then, so it's like I get up at 4:30, but I don't usually actually start until about 5:15 or 5:30. And then I'm done at 6:30. And then I usually spend that last 30 minutes trying to put up on my Instagram stories or whatever. And then by 7, I'm in the shower and it's like, that's 2.5 hours in the morning that I have. If I was only working out for 30 minutes, it'd be totally different.
Right. If I had that time, if I didn't have to go to work right away in the morning to get on my own ready and out the door, it would be fine. But one, I'm not a morning person, and I am the first to admit it. And it's even this is a first for me, getting up and working out in the morning every morning. I cannot do that hour. I need part of that time. Like you said, I want, Tracy and I have been working out together. I want to chat and get our day started, and then we warm up, and then we do whatever workout we're doing. And then I know I have to be upstairs by 6:05. So I have it all, but all of that goes, and I can't do the hour.
Yeah. I'm getting ready to start week 2 of phase 2 for my second round. And I'm like, why am I doing, I love the workouts and I like it. And I like doing things from start to finish, but these hour workouts are so time consuming.
I was stressed. It was stressing me out. And that, I'm like, what? Part of the reason I love this and part of the reason that I have sold it to others is because it's 30 minutes of your day. And I'm a busy mom who runs kids to sports and I work full time. It's 30 minutes.
Yeah.
I had such high anxiety about that hour workout. It was killing me. So when it was done, it was 15 pounds of weight off my shoulder.
Yeah. Are you still doing max 30?
Well, so I said this week has kind of sucked. So I did the full month, with a few days here and there that I was running or whatever, because it's been so nice. But I did T25 off and on when I was running. But
yeah.
My plan is probably, because this is the last week of school, so I need to get through just survival mode at this point. So I'll probably just stick to T25, but then I'll go back to that second month of insanity next week after Memorial Day.
Yeah. Oh.
I'm doing nothing. I'm doing all of the different workouts, and it's
I was like, you're not doing nothing. I watch you work out.
Well, I thought, a few weeks ago, okay, I'm going to restart phase 3 and then do phase 3, then peak week, then either 21 Day Fix Extreme or something to get me to this competition. And I know that I need to be lifting more weights. So doing 80 Day Obsession to me is I'm not lifting enough weights. And when I try to do something else, I'm I keep going back to man, I need to lift heavier so my muscles look fuller. And I'm that stresses me out. And then I've been trying to do bodybuilding and I just cannot, I've done it so much in the past that I'm over it. I'm over the same And now I'm like really mad that he says things like, it's time to man up. Like, you have to be the strongest man in the, and I'm like, you're an asshole, dude. Like, stop. There are women that are doing this workout too. Like, it like makes me really mad. Like, I don't know why it never made me mad the first time.
But
I'm a strong woman. Like, I don't need to man up. Kiss my ass. Like, oh, it's terrible. And
he does kind of annoy me. Like, I don't mind his workouts, but like, he does kind of annoy me. But it's funny that you said that, because not too long ago we were talking to a guy just like randomly, and his wife has the videos, but he was saying that he does body beast, but he was like, I can't listen to him talk.
Yeah.
And I go, because if you scroll down, you can do it without noise or whatever. Yeah, that's what I told him. He goes, really? I'm like, yeah.
So to be honest, like, I think I'm going to start 21 Day Fix Extreme, like right before my competition, like to do it for the month of June, or like start it after Memorial Day. And then do like a peak week, literally the week of competition, and then just throw in gym workouts. So I'm going to start going back to the gym once my kids are out of school, just so I can give them that hour of playtime at the gym, and I can just do like Body Beast style lifting workouts at the gym. So I don't know what that's going to look like for my business, if it's going to like unappeal to people because I'm going to the gym, but maybe that will draw me a whole new group of people that go to the gym that need workouts that aren't an hour and a half long. So I don't know.
Okay, so that's my question. Like, what do you do? Like, I've had people that are interested in the accountability groups that go to the gym, and we've talked about like the $25 a month or whatever. But then, okay, so which is fine. Like, if they don't want to drink Shakeology. But what if somebody wants to drink Shakeology and order Shakeology? Do you put them in the accountability group?
I would. Yeah. And probably in the app group, maybe.
I don't run a Facebook. So
yeah. So they can track their workout. I would probably put them in the app group, and then I would talk to them about the performance line, or I would send them or encourage them to order a sampler of the performance line. That's what I would do. And because for me, when I did my last competition, that performance line, I used that to a T every day, and I noticed a huge difference in my soreness and recovery, especially when I used the overnight stuff.
She goes to the gym twice a day, and her and I have been chatting back and forth for about a month. So she said the other day, she's like, I've talked to a ton of people, and they said Shakeology is the best. Do you have samples? And I said, yeah. So she's like, I'll pay for them. So I only charged her $3 a piece instead of $5, because she was like, she's gonna order. She just wanted to try between the chocolate and vanilla or whatever. So I'm like, yeah. So I gave her that, and I was gonna give her Energize and didn't have it. Like, I ran out of packs. So I'm like, so then that was my question. Like, if she orders Shakeology, like, I'd love to just throw her in the group, because I think that she is a good facet for other people. So what I have found on Facebook, which is kind of like a gold mine, and I feel bad, but I like the group anyway. There is a group on Facebook for our area, and it's called like Rock Your Body or something, and it's just all of these women in all shapes and sizes inspiring each other to become healthier. Like,
you get in that group.
I know, it was kind of like a gold mine. Like, when I found it, I was, what is this, and where is it at? But it's like they work out wherever. They did like a swimsuit photo shoot, and it was like all shapes and stuff. It was so cool. And there's these shirts, and it's like For City Pretty. Like, they made shirts that you can buy and like fundraise for, and they do all of these like get-togethers. And I'm like, this is kind of something like I'd love to be a part of. And that's how I met her.
That's awesome. I want to make something like that.
Mm-hmm. It's super cool.
Yeah, I would. And you know what you could also even do? I know that she goes to the gym. But with her, you know, to buy Shakeology for $129, for $140, she could do the 90-day plus Shakeology challenge pack and have access to the on-demand workouts if she wanted to use them. If not, I mean, it's an extra $10, I would tell her. Like, and then if you decide that you want to try out any of these workouts, you can. Or if you don't want to do your cardio at the gym that day, you could try something out at home. But I usually try to at least give them a taste of on-demand. Like, I have a lot of people that order just the Tubi without on-demand. And I'm like, God, like, why don't you want? So then I'm signing them up for Clean Week. Or I'm signing them up for like a free trial or whatever, just to give them a taste of it. So that way they can see like, hey, yeah, like you know, just add in a couple of these workouts every week or whatever. So I've done that with gym people in the past too. Like, I tell them, by all means, like, you know, I'm a gym girl and I love going to the gym, but I found when I started that this was easier for me to be able to do this at home, especially with, you know, 3 small kids or whatever, you know. But yeah, at least try to turn them on to it. Just like, you know, even if they just try one workout, just to see the convenience of it. And then all the access that's on there, you know, especially with Fixate.
I said before, like my best friend is a director of our YMCA, like, and she is in my groups and she uses the video because she said, I have 3 little kids. Like, it's so much easier for me at 5 o'clock in the morning to get up and work out. And then if I know that day I have to go teach a class or I have to do whatever, then, and that I don't work out that day. But yeah. So I don't know. I was like really excited when I found that group, but I kind of am like walking on eggshells because I don't want people to think like I'm going in there because I want people to join me. Like, so I haven't, like, I commented on things and whatever, but I just think it's a phenomenal group.
Yeah.
I do have an Insta story question before we're finished.
Yeah.
Okay, so you said like you post your Insta story, like your stories at night, like before you go to bed, like the long, like a day in the life of.
Yeah.
So then that was kind of my question. You don't post anything else during that timeline?
Well, so I do it a couple different ways. Like, and I saved all my stories from one of my nutrition things the other day, because I was going to share, that in our team page, but I wanted to talk about it on the call first. That was something that I wanted to talk about today. So there's a couple different ways that I'll do it. Like yesterday I did a day in the life where I got downstairs with my pre-workout breakfast and sat down on the bench, and I was like getting ready to log in and checking my groups, and I was like, maybe I'll just do a few little stories talking about what I do as a coach. So I started with that, and then I was like, okay, I'll just share a couple things. And I knew that yesterday being Friday, I have my 4-year-old home, and it was going to be rough for me to get anything done. But if I could just share a couple snippets of, you know, like she's playing by my side while I'm working, blah, 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 this is what I'm doing. And then I knew that like we had a date night last night. So I was like, I got to wrap it up and put a call to action on here, because like I was planning on posting about our date night. Well, I actually ended up not posting. I just posted on my Instagram, not in my stories, about our date night. But I did, like, I just did a call to action at the end. But I've done in the past is like on a Tuesday night or a Thursday or a Wednesday night or something, like when I know, or especially a Sunday night, I know that there's going to be a lot of traction. And even like there being like today being a Saturday, I feel like doing it on a Friday night would work too, because you know you have a lot of people like sitting at kids' sporting events that are looking through their Insta stories and stuff. But just loading in like anywhere from 5 to 10 posts about whatever it is. So like I saved my one from, I don't know if you guys saw it, but it was like, what is this nutrition thing that I've been talking about? And I find like one image, I use WordSwag. I found one image like this, and I went into WordSwag and I uploaded it. I know there's a way to plug your phone in and you can like stream it from your phone as you're talking. But I go into WordSwag and I add this little image, and then you go to the IG stories thing. So like, it's only going to pop up like that, you know? And then I go into the image and then I click lighten. So like it lightens it up. So then you can kind of use it as a background. And I save that image, or I'll put like @FitMommyAshley at the bottom because you have to type something on there. And then I'll save that image and I'll use that for like my whole story. Like I'll type over it. So, and I'll do that sometimes with like a fitness thing. Like I'll use the same background, like just the gray, like I usually do the gray something background. And I'll just go in, and I never really know what I'm going to say, but I know I want like to increase curiosity as I go. And then like at the height end of it, put a call to action. So I'll do, what is this nutrition thing that I've been talking about? Like more water, more veggies, blah, blah, blah. And then I share some challenger victories from I'll do a little screenshot and like circle them and like throw some GIFs in there. And like, then I'll share some transformations and like, and same thing with coaching. Like I'll go in and I'll talk about like, what is this coaching thing that I do, blah, blah, blah. And then I'll increase curiosity and then like talk about some victories that I've had, or share, like transformations, like this is me helping other people, blah, blah, blah. And then I'll put that call to action. So like I'm closing out my last 5 spots for our test group on Friday. Like, are you ready to do this? And I had like 7 people respond. So I messaged them and not one person has messaged me back. So I never know. And the same thing, like I did the same with coaching this morning, or with coaching last night. And I had, a bunch of people message me back, tell me more. And I know like 3 of them are coaches already. And 2 of them did the same response on my nutrition thing and still haven't responded to me. But still, like, I'm going to message them and I'm going to be like, dude, oh my God, I'm so excited you're going to be a coach. Like, woohoo, And then I have more people that I can go back to at a later date. Or I can go in and like make sure I'm liking on their stories and stuff. But that's 10 to 15 minutes is what I spend on doing a little collage or something like that. And then I'll save it. And then maybe in 30 days, I'll use it again. And because if we're continuing to increase our following, we may have new people. Or what is that statistic? Like you have to have 17 exposures before somebody decides to do it. So I figure if I'm doing at least, like I try to do 2 a week, 2 call to actions, 1 for coaching, 1 for nutrition, or 1 for coaching, 1 for a challenge group in my stories twice a week. So I'll pick like a Sunday and a Friday or a Wednesday or, whatever. And then set aside that little bit of time to do that. And then who knows, you could get 15 people, you could get 1. And, but then I do go in and look at who's viewing those stories. And if I haven't talked to them yet, I'll send them a message. Because I know, and especially if they viewed all of the stories, then they
I gotta go.
Okay.
All right, bye.
Bye.
You too, bye.
Then I'll go in and I'll look and see who's, if somebody's viewed every single story and they're not like, they didn't skip out of it because they didn't want to see it, then I'm like, okay, that's my people. Right. So I don't know. I feel like I can get away with doing a little bit less worrying about my social media if I'm doing something on Insta stories. And I don't use Facebook stories hardly at all.
I don't either. If I do something that I see is getting a lot of traction on Insta stories, I throw it up on my Facebook stories.
Yeah.
That really is, I haven't been doing Facebook stories.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I'm trying to do a couple of those a week. And to be honest, like if Luke's out of town, it makes a big difference because I'm, I can stay up and work and not, feel obligated to,
right.
not be on my phone. So yeah, are you doing another 2-week group? Are you just doing this one?
No, I'm going to do another one in June.
Okay.
I got to get some of these people who, it's the end of the school year. I mean, I have so many teachers.
Yeah. That's what I'm thinking about, is doing like a 21-day fix group starting after Memorial Day. And do I call it a bikini boot camp because I'm doing a competition? Or is that like, do people like get turned off by that. Like, I don't even know anymore. Like, I'm like,
Like that wouldn't, like I would probably be like, eh.
yeah, I feel like it's been hit or miss for me in the past when I've used it. And I'm like, I don't
Or
know.
like Ready boot camp or
Summer shred. I have a cousin who does Juice Plus, and she always talks about this shred that they do. I'm like, I want to do that.
Wow.
I don't know. So I got to get my shit
I
together.
have one. Like I literally one day was like Googling challenge group names. Have you ever done that?
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, I like this one. I
Yeah.
like this one. Or Tracy will do it and she'll send me one. How about this? All right, fine.
Yeah. Perfect.
Yeah.
I know. I think I might do some kind of a summer boot camp, maybe.
So did I tell you that my team wants to like do something once a month?
Nice.
I know. It's like,
Yeah. Yeah. Awesome.
yeah. Yeah. So